let's move on to the next segment. So let's talk about Bad Boys 4. So
Or
Bad Boys 4 came out last week and a half ago.
yeah, like a week and a half,
Only been out.
almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks. It's been out for about 2 weeks now. I didn't see it. I'll let Chris go first since I didn't see the movie. But Chris, go ahead and give your take on it. But don't give any spoilers. Try not to spoil it. But
Okay.
just give your honest opinion on the movie.
Okay, I enjoyed the movie. I'll say that. And that's what I was saying. When we talked about it, or when me, you, and our friends discussed it. Like, for it to be the fourth installment of the series, I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, like I thought it was highly entertaining. It really wasn't a second in the movie where it didn't have my attention, or there wasn't something going on that that made you have to watch the entire movie. And so, like, you know, it's a fourth installment in 2024. Like, it's going to be some stuff in there that's not, like, super realistic, I guess you could say. So, there is a little bit of that in the movie, but overall, storytelling wise, like, I thought the story itself was pretty dope. It gave it a reason for there to be a fourth movie, because I think a lot of people, when they saw that there was going to be a fourth Bad Boys after watching number 3, kind of didn't know where they would take us,
Right.
per se. But they found a creative way to come up with a reason for a fourth installment. And from that, to the point that you had made earlier, when discussing the topics and stuff, like, I think they found a way to do, like, actual spin-offs. And I think that's the name of the game, right? Like, in Hollywood, and then, content creating, whatever you want to call it, is try to find a way to expand the story. And so there are little events in the movie that, for me as a viewer, definitely left me wondering, like, what would be next. So I didn't think that it left off on a note where the story was ending, by no means. I think they found a cool way to try to, like, expand on the story, actually. And so quality of movie wise, I definitely give it probably like a 7.5, maybe an 8.
That's not bad. Okay, I gotta watch that for myself. So I will say I do agree with you. With every movie that does come out, they try to create their own little universe, and I think Bad Boys. I think they did try that, because when Bad Boys 3 came out, or around that time, they had a series that came out with Jessica Alba and Gabrielle Union, and I
Right.
forget what that series was called, but it was in the same universe as the Bad Boys series, because it was based off of um, Marcus's sister,
Yeah.
and Jessica Alba. Like, she was the DA. She wanted to be a cop. She wanted to go back to be a cop, and then Jessica Alba was another cop. That series only lasted about a season and a half to not even 2 seasons, I don't think. So it didn't really do that well. But I think I agree with you. With every story or every movie that comes out, they try to create something within their universe to kind of have a spinoff, similar to, they did that with the Star Wars franchise. Now you have all these different type of series and different movies that don't really dive in within the main story, but kind of like are canonized or non-canon, and they're all, like, based upon different things that are not really in the main story. Similar to Fast and Furious, they did all that. Then they had the Hobbs and Shaw movie, which was a spin-off of the actual Fast and Furious movie. There's so many movies that do that, and I think that's the name of the game nowadays. When you're creating a movie, you create it to a point of, all right, which characters does the audience prefer, or are they starting to like? Then you create your own little story based upon that character. So yeah, okay. I'm definitely gonna tune in. I'm gonna try to watch Bad Boys 4. I just haven't had time. But when I do get into it, I'm gonna come with a non-biased approach, which is kind of hard, because it's like to me, like, growing up, Bad Boys was like the movie where your parents didn't want you to watch it because it was a lot of cursing in there, a lot of action. Like, it was really good. Bad Boys 1 was great. Bad Boys 2 was probably the best one. I don't care what nobody said. I don't think anything's beating that Bad Boys 2 to me. I haven't seen the fourth one yet, but right now, out of the three that I've seen, Bad Boys 2 probably was the better one for
So
me.
you go 2, 1, 3?
I go 2, 1, and then 3. Yeah. That's solid. Because
Go ahead, what you about to say?
three, I'd have to rewatch 3. I've only seen 3 once. 2 and 1, I've seen damn near 7, 8 times, 12 times. So it's kind of like every time I watch those movies, I kind of just like them more and more. So 3, I have to get in the rotation of watching it more. But I don't know. I have that's just my list currently. So I got to see what the fourth one's looking like for myself.
I haven't seen 2 in so long, man. I feel like I watch 1 almost regularly, and that might be an
Yeah,
indication of which one is my favorite out of the 2.
yeah. There you go.
Like I watch 1 a lot for a 1990s film, but
Yes.
nah, man. I mean, I clearly I wouldn't even compare them. It's kind of like apples and oranges, man. Like, I definitely wouldn't put 4 in the same category as 1 or 2, but just in terms of where things have, or where they were able to take the storyline, and like I said, how they can expand on it moving forward, you can definitely see some of the vision that they have moving forward for sure. But
Yeah.
did you want to talk about some of the box office stuff with them?
Yeah. I know when I was watching Andrew Schultz's podcast, that's where the idea came that he stated he took a take and said that the Bad Boys 4 movie would flop, and he said it did. Now, you presented me an article earlier this week, if you want to share it, that it didn't flop.
Yeah, I had a
You
couple of
kind of
articles.
you tell me what it did, and because I think the budget on the movie was like over $100 million, if I'm not mistaken, and it had like worldwide press runs. Like they was pushing this movie. This movie had a lot of press and a lot of push behind it. It wasn't like a regular old movie. So you tell me, with that article that you posted up, what numbers did it actually do? Did it actually do really well, or did like so? Like, did it break even?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like we discussed off the podcast, it was a $100 million budget film. Um, that being said, though, it seemed to have done pretty well, not just domestically though, because I don't know, maybe if you look at just the domestic number, that it's not like um anything like overwhelming, but you also have to consider the climate that we're in right now with a lot of movies not doing well at the box office. Got this article from Screen Rant though. I was trying to find the one by the Hollywood Reporter, but we'll just go with Screen Rant for now. It says the Bad Boys Ride or Die box office helps push the franchise past a major milestone. The fourth installment in the Bad Boys franchise brings back leads Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, while bringing some of the series' younger characters to fore. Bad Boys Ride or Die features a leading cast including Will Smith, Marcus Lawrence, Vanessa Hudgens, Alexander Ludwig, Paula Nunez, Eric Dane, Ian Gruffudd, Tasha Smith, Jacob Scipio, and Dennis Green. Per Deadline, the box office for Bad Boys Ride or Die has pushed the franchise past a major milestone with the fourth Bad Boys film's box office total. The series now has made over $1 billion. At the time of writing, Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die has made an estimated 79.24 million domestic, with the worldwide box office total for Bad Boys Ride or Die being 125.6 million. This was 4 days ago, so this was
So
less
wait,
than a
so
week after the
domestically
movie
it did
came out.
7.9 million?
Domestically, it did 79. Did
Oh,
almost 80
79
million
million.
domestically. Yeah, did 79.24 domestically. Combined with the worldwide box office, it was at 125 4 days ago.
Combined. So worldwide plus
Combined,
domestic, it did
yeah.
125 million.
hmm
I got to see what Rotten Tomatoes is saying about it. What's Rotten Tomatoes? Look up what Rotten Tomatoes is saying. Like, what was their score on Rotten Tomatoes? Because they're usually pretty spot on when it comes to like their critic score and what the audience score is giving them.
Audience score is 97%. The tomato meter is at 65%.
You said audience score is 97?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! And you said the tomato meter is what, 65%?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so tomato meter is the critics. Audience meter is the actual audience, like people, the feedback the fans are giving. Okay, so that's a pretty decent movie. That's not a bad movie. I mean, number wise, it's not really blowing it out of the park. But with that score on the Rotten Tomatoes, that definitely is giving me some intrigue to go see it more. Give me some incentive because 97% audience score. That means it did really well with everybody liked it. Like, people came in and they actually liked it at the end.
Yeah, like
but I gotta go in there with a neutral bias.
Yeah. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, it's what you think about it as opposed to what critics or what anybody else's perspective on the movie was. That being said, though, it's worth a go see. You know, it's worth to go check it out if get some free time or whatever, and maybe you want to go see a matinee or something like that if you got some free time. It was chill. I went on a chill day. It wasn't too many people in there. I got to sneak in Dolly, and you know what I mean, had me a nice little movie day.
And it's crazy. I'm off tomorrow, which is Juneteenth. But when this episode releases, that will probably be after Juneteenth. But I'm off. I might. I don't know if I can go see it. Because if I go see it by myself and the wife ain't there, so I'm gonna have to answer for that. So I don't know if I want to answer for that. But I can definitely go to the movies by myself tomorrow, since I am off, and go enjoy a matinee film for like $5-6. But I know she's probably gonna be mad about that. So
it's a vibe, gang.
As we move on. All right. So